obstacle to eradicating, uprooting racism in many countries, which is not only the lack of political will in some countries by governments, the lack of policies and programs, but also what I call the breaking of the front of the victim. The fact that the different communities, victims are no solidarity among themselves. And that is, I think, already a serious problem. Now, in conclusion, please also, when you present your testimonies, I am asking fundamentally 4 questions which help me to structure my report in a meaningful way. The first question is fundamentally the question of principle, because the special rapporteur is not supposed to have any views. I have no views, preliminary views. What I will in my report will be what you are going to tell me, what official authorities are going to tell me. So the first question is there racism, racial discrimination, and xenophobia in the United States? Because my report, I start with always. I will say the government has told me there is or there is not. Victims have told me there is not. So that I push it. I have no views. I come back. The second question is, if there is racism, what are the manifestations and expression, how it is translated in reality, concretely? And on those manifestations and expression, I want to, those I'm meeting like you today, to brief me not only on the concrete manifestations on the social, economic, and the political levels, because this is where it is firstly translated and expressed, particularly in the urban setting and Chicago. This is important, the economic, social, and the political, for me, because in most of my reports, I have identified what I call the coincidence between 2 maps. And I'm trying to check this coincidence of the 2 maps in all the country areas. If the map of social, political, and economic marginalization coincide with the ethnic map, this for me is a really important indicator of the depth of racism. So I want to know here, if the communities marginalized socially, economically, and politically are ethnic minorities, I want to identify that. This is why, in presenting your testimonies on the social, political, and economic, which include housing, employment, education, please be specific and give me very concrete examples. But I want you also on manifestations and expression of racism to touch on another part of this racism, which is not very often tackled by in many countries, in many countries governments are not sensitive to that dimension. The all cultural sources, the value and the cultural sources of racism. It means, because racism is an iceberg. The manifestation, social, political, economic, are the visible part of the iceberg. And you can touch on them. But as long as you don't go deeper on where racism is built up in terms of deep feelings, culture, mentality, value system, the monster will re-emerge. It is what Bertolt Brecht, after World War II, what he said. He said that the bomb is still fertile from where the monster emanated. The bomb which created, what he was saying is that what has created Nazism and the Holocaust and everything we know was still alive despite the political defeat of the Nazism. So what I'm saying here is I need also here to understand and know how and if the deeper cultural and ethical roots of racism are, how serious they are and how are they expressed in the United States. Because the example of South Africa showed it, and other countries I visited. Because in those countries, governments have limited their combat against racism to the legal and political action, which is very important. They have adopted very extraordinarily well-crafted legal systems to combat, punish using the law, justice. But they have this has led to societies where, and that can happen in many countries, where you can have a country where on the legal plan and politically, there is no discrimination. But you may lead to a society where communities are living side by side. So this is why in my reports and my investigation, I very much try to understand and recommend also on what I call the last frontier of combating racism, to see how the interaction between the communities is tackled, how those deeper roots which return to the classes, for which we all of us are looking at each other, they come from a long way, are treated and by political actions which touch on education, on value system, on image building, etc. So in your testimony, please touch on both the two issues, the material expressions and the cultural, mental, and ethical issues. So these are the points I want to share with you and to help you for present your testimonies. I will do my best to reflect in my report. You should know, and it is important because you are being listened to, the media publishing case, that the US government has very positively accepted my demand. It's okay, it took them 1 year and a half, but they are very positively accepted my demand to visit the United States. And my cooperation I have been receiving from the US officials has been absolutely open from all departments. I have received all the information I have been requesting, documentation, etc. So far, it is going well. I had this kind of testimonies and public gathering yesterday in Harlem, in the Bronx, and I also had it also. I'm going to have it in the next, because from here, I'm going to Omaha and Los Angeles, Miami, what is the name of it? New Orleans, because it's very important, and San Juan, Puerto Rico. And in all places I will be doing the same kind of investigation. So thank you for coming to share with me whatever you would like to share with me, and to be as specific and precise as possible. And lastly, understand that this is just the first encounter. I'm going to listen and take note. But feel free to give me or send me later on any written document, testimony, reports, studies, books, newspaper article, which can help me to draft the most precise picture of the situation of racism in the United States. Now, just to conclude, you will be certainly asking yourself, but UN is publishing a lot of reports, but what is going to happen? Certainly, I have no weapon of mass destruction. Rapporteurs do not have that. But understand that our reports have an effect very profoundly. And we are monitoring and following up on the recommendation we are formulating. Our reports are public documents. They are used by the media worldwide. They are used by other governments. They are used by the civil society. And in many countries, our report becomes an instrument in the internal political struggle against racism. It is used because of the recommendation and the analysis presented. And as far as I'm concerned, I have been following up on all the camps I visit, and every year in my general report worldwide on racism, there is a part entitled Follow Up to the Visit of the Special Rapporteur, where I come back to the country visited to inform the international community on the progress achieved and the problems still to be settled. So be assured that the report has influence, but ultimately the impact of the report depends on you, what you are going to do with that report, because you are the ultimate actor of this situation. So thank you for coming to meet me this afternoon.